are now proceed to do the oil change. Here are all the things you're gonna need to do the oil change for any Vespa GT, GTS or GTV. You don't necessarily have to remove the exhaust, but we're gonna do it because we're gonna be doing the rest of the maintenance, changing the pads, and we're gonna be removing the wheel and doing all that great stuff. So we take advantage and remove the exhaust to do, you know, everything more comfortably. So of course you want to have in hand a couple of racks. You want to have a tray, an oil tray, and of course you're gonna need your oil. For the GT, GTS or GTV, you can use the 5W40 full synthetic with the specification of the manufacturer. And of course we're gonna be testing out the red chili oil filter from Melosi. Looks really nice. Gonna look really cool, you know, performance. Also, you want to get yourself an oil ring for the drain plug. You want to get a new oil ring. Let's get into the tools you're gonna need for this. All the tools you're gonna need is basically a 21mm socket to remove the actual filter. If you happen to have the tool to remove the filter, you can use that, or you can actually use the big plier like this one to be able to remove that. You're also gonna need a 24mm socket to remove your drain plug, the corresponding wrench, bigger one just in case to remove the drain plug. Sometimes get really tight, so you can put more torque into it. And that's basically all you're gonna need to change in your oil. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to remove your filter. So you want to put your tray there, have your rack ready in hand, and you want to grab your 21mm socket and you want to remove that. Usually if you have your exhaust, it's better to use the pliers because you can get more easy underneath, you know, open the whole thing down and just pry it out the thing. But since we removed the exhaust, we were able to use a 21mm socket. So of course you want to have that ready because you're gonna start leaking all the oil. And let that drain a little bit. Then you want to grab your long wrench. Sometimes it's really tight. With your fingers you can push the cap, and once you feel it is loose, you can just like pull it out. It doesn't have that many threads, so you can just like that, see? Go ahead and remove this from there so it drains more quickly. You want to inspect this, so if you see any of these metal particles or anything, it's a good time to clean it and you don't worry about it. But this one seems to be pretty clean. Just give it a nice shake in there. Be cleaning this with soapy water and you just put it here in the side. So once that drains quite a lot, you want to come to the other side of the scooter. You want to unscrew the dipstick. It's gonna help to drain the thing for completely. So you remove your dipstick. Once you have let the oil drain pretty well, you can actually, help with the scooter a little bit and twist it like that, so you can finally drain the rest of it. Be careful you don't drop your scooter on top of you. Okay, so once you have cleaned up all the surface here, get it ready for the filter. You want to have ready your filter. We clean it up with soapy water. You want to let that dry very well, nice and dry. You can go ahead and put a little bit of oil here in the tip of it. You can use a little bit. It's just like to make the O-ring slippery. Push that back in. You're actually gonna feel like it gets into that groove, and once you feel it in there, the next thing you want to do is you want to grab your new O-ring. And you want to grab your cap, and you also want to place the O-ring around it into that groove. And you also want to apply a little bit, tiny bit of oil just to lubricate the rubber piece, so when you stick it in, it's nice and slippery, it's not pinching and you wasted the whole thing. So make sure it's nice in there so it doesn't fall anything thanks to the oil we apply. Proceed and screw that back in. You're gonna lift that slightly and we're gonna torque that to the correct torque. You're just gonna screw that in there. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to grab your malossi filter. Move that. And something you want to do, come already with oil. People sometimes they pour a little bit of the oil here. I'm gonna proceed and do that. You just want to pour a tiny bit, nothing much, just tiny bit. And then you just want to grab and put a little bit, you know. It's very critical because this is like the first part that the bike gets oil. And then you just want to go ahead and screw that. You don't want to go too crazy with this. There's even a tool. I don't have anything really to, you know, be able to do that. I found a way that with the tool of the variator, with the end of it, you can actually tie that down, you know, with the end of it like this. Once the tool fell like that, it's good enough, see? Then we're gonna proceed and torque the drain plug. You don't want to go too crazy, just like 30 foot-pounds. Just snug in there, see? There you go. And that's it. Once you have plugged your new filter with the drain plug, we can proceed and pour down the new oil. We're gonna proceed and screw that. Okay, we need to pour 1.4 liters. Gotta be right about there, so we still have to put a little bit more. And you can actually see at the level perfect, and that's it. You got it. Okay, let's now run the scooter, see how everything works. Run for like 10 minutes because it starts circulating, so you want to refill what it just get into the system. The oil, see what the levels are, and then we're gonna take it for a ride. You wanna come here to the dipstick and you wanna measure your oil, see at what level it is. As you can see, we need to add more oil. Right at the level. You wanna be just there.